Dab was originally a strong way to smoke marijuana.
True.
It's the purest form of marijuana. When you smoke it, you cough. The first thing you do is puts hand in front of mouth and coughs. That's where dab came from. https://m.csmonitor.com/the-culture/2016/0208/ do we really need a dab of drug culture in our dancing?
We don't.
We do not.
I hate drug culture.
I want to go to this
culture-
link.
I've been outspoken about marijuana abuse and how much it's fucking
I
disgusting.
fucking
to
hate
me.
dopers.
Yeah.
Dopers,
This
smokers.
is the Christian Science Monitor.
I saw
That's what this
Heroin
website
addicts.
is.
Listen, I saw some piece of fucking dog shit dope fiend, right?
Yeah.
Lighting up. He's sitting in a wheelchair. Both of his legs are in casts. He's lighting up in the middle of his living room with the windows open. Okay? And you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, you know what I'd really like right now is a red sniper dot directly on this guy's neck brace through his window, and I'd like for somebody to shoot his trachea.
Absolutely.
So that he can, hey, try smoking dope now, buddy.
I saw this-
It's going to fly out of the hole in your neck.
You know what I saw? I saw this bald woman
Yeah.
eating an edible.
Yeah, and it's like, listen, first of all,
She was at the hospital and she looked sick.
All right, so
and she looked sick probably because of the dope.
here's what's happening, okay? She's bald. She's a lesbo, okay? She's a complete lesbo, right?
Yeah.
And she's a dope head, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
dope
and why is she
fiend.
at the hospital? Because she's done with her dope head's fucking starter drug, and she's trying to get opiates.
Yeah.
She's going in there faking menstrual blood so
Or-
that she can get a prescription for some kind of opiate.
I hear what dopers will do nowadays is
Yeah.
even before they'll go to the hospital, and some of them they're not they're not even they don't even have the courage to upgrade to opiates, but they'll
Yep.
go to the hospital. They'll think, how can I get my hands on more dope? I don't want to have to get in a car with my dirty dope dealer no
Yep.
more. I need to legitimize this. And I hear what they'll do is they'll go into the hospital. They'll complain that they have rot in
Yep.
one of their limbs. They'll get it amputated.
Yep.
And they'll get a special card.
It's fucking
that lets the
disgusting.
government throw dope in their mouths like
Yeah.
a freaking clown game at the arcade.
It absolutely is. It's a yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's Nintendo.
I've seen these rectangle dopers. They've got
Yep.
no arms, no legs.
Nope.
They're crawling around like an inchworm.
They had all their
trying to put their mouth on a
disgusting.
drainage pipe just to suck out some dope additives.
And you know these dispensaries are just giving them more. They're putting more stuff in the truck so that people can get rot.
It's
Yeah,
true. They're
it's
trying
true.
to get more rot in their limbs so that they can be removed by a plastic surgeon so that they can deal with the quote-unquote pain.
I mean, these fucking dopers.
pain. It feels amazing
We're
to lose
gonna
a limb.
listen. People did these. First of all, when dope started out, people are like, we have a nation of zombies.
Yeah.
you know. But more and
Yep.
more, it's looking like we're gonna have more of a nation of mummies.
I'd like to bring you
Because they
guys...
all mummy rot.
Yep, they're covered in bandages.
I'd like to bring
Their
you
arms
guys...
and legs are falling off. There's sand everywhere. Their skin is turning to sand.
I'd like to bring you guys back to a different time and place, okay?
I hope it's not.
Ancient Egypt.
I hope it's not ancient Egypt BC because that's where all the mummies are.
It's 1969, right? We start the Vietnam War, okay?
Awesome.
Nobody wants to go, right? Until a couple of these...
Why don't they want to go?
Until a couple of these hippies get an idea. Somebody war man recruiter says, hey, who wants to go to Vietnam and get PTSD and get all your limbs blown off? And all these dopers go, oh, me.
Me, yeah.
Because one day there's going to be a place called Concierge Dispensary where I can
Yep.
deal with my quote-unquote pain and quote-unquote
That's
lost
right.
foot and PTSD
Free
with the
dope.
Skittle.
Free dope for pillow humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Right? And now all of a sudden you got these guys, they wear American
in
flag
Vietnam.
bandanas, they pretend they're homeless, and then they turn around, they go outside, and they actually have a 1994 Ford Focus and parked in the back of the grocery store.
Yeah.
And they're walking into the dope dispensary.
It's like,
and they're
man,
saying,
yeah.
give me the strongest pen that you have.
Give me a drug. Give me a strain of dope called the Hitler's Killer.
Yeah, give
Yeah.
me Hitler's pussy
It's
because
like- and it's
I'm
like,
so fucked up from the war that
You see-
I have to think about times when I killed people. It's
Yep.
like, buddy,
And you
that's
know what?
awesome.
And you know what they were doing in Vietnam? They were
What?
smoking a weed out of a shotgun.
That's
Yep.
right.
Because they wanted
these-
to blow their
these
head off so
fucking-
they could get more weed.
Yep.
These quote unquote veteran dopers, okay? They they're coming back here. They're coming back here to the U.S. to get more free dope. They're waddling into these dispensaries. They look like Freddy Krueger's finger under these tie-dyed shirts. Okay,
these dopers with no arms and no legs are getting pushed into dispensaries on a.
They look
dollar.
like folks. They look like Floops Fooglies.
Yep, and they're being just completely just tossed into the dispensaries like bricks through a window.
Yep.
They're saying you know what?
Choice.
There's a guy who pushes them in on a hand truck, and then drops it on the floor, and then they're face down on the ground like,
could I please have some weed?
Yep.
Could I please have some awesome dope?
It's like, okay,
disgusting.
they're coming in. They're like, all right, my arms and legs were pulled off by a robotic arm at the Ford Focus factory. But you know what I haven't lost yet? My mind.
Yep.
And
listen,
I know how to fix
it.
that. I'll smoke a freaking pack of dope.
Yep.
It's going to pull my brain
And
right out
some
of the
of
top
these-
of my
I
head
wanna
like an
taint
Egyptian mummy.
I want to taint it with weed cigarettes and give myself mummy rot.
Some of these
Yeah.
grass heads are actually even genius artists, unfortunately, and we've lost some of them. Speaking of, Nirvana's own Kurt Cobain, he stuck a shotgun into his mouth because he thought it was a slice of pizza because he was so high, and now he's dead like a mummy.
Yep. Same with Jimi Hendrix. He threw up because he smoked so much.
And he thought that his throw up was pizza.
Yeah.
And now he's dead like a mummy.
And Jim Morrison was eating pizza in the tub underwater.
Yep. And now he's dead like a mummy.
You
And
can't
beside-
eat pizza underwater.
Most psychotic spree killers are dopers.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
but even beyond that, the ones who don't go out and rat-a-tat-tat kill a million humans, when you realize what lives on the dope plant is insects and ants.
That's the
and
thing.
they get burned up and killed when a doper smokes the dope.
Look
and the
at
bug goes in their brain and is so mad at the human race.
They got
Take it-
spider webs in there.
Yeah.
take a looky-loo at the row of mass shooters we've had in the last 20 years, right? James Holmes and all those guys. Looks like a fucking Fish concert. Okay, that's what it looks like when you look at these guys. All right,
Yeah.
their
Yep.
eyes are bloodshot. Right? They have completely blood-shocked eyes.
Yeah.
And they're looking at you with that fucking THC Delta 9 stare.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
disgusting.
And they probably thought that all these kiddies
you know
walking
what they-
around the school were slices of pizza.
Yeah. And they needed to cook them
Yeah.
with their big pizza gun.
Yeah, because that's what dope does to your brain.
It makes you hallucinate.
Okay, the Boston shooters.
think about
they
it.
were getting that Stronky Kong from the Middle East,
Yeah.
right? Getting it shipped over to the brothers, right? The two dope brothers of Boston.
I thought you were talking about the Middle East
And you know what?
club.
You know what they thought? You know what they thought? They thought that the pressure cookers that they dropped and the
they thought they were cooking a pizza.
they thought that they were just cooking a damn pizza in a volcano vape,
Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden, you got
And don't get me started
5
about-
years later, Mark Wahlberg's making a movie with no legs, right? And guess how that guy treated
Yeah.
his no leg syndrome?
Yep.
smoking.
Smoking
It goes
weed.
all the way to
Goes-
the top
Yep.
of the hip.
All the way to the bottom of the ground, which is
Yep.
where the guy was because he didn't
Yeah.
have any legs.
You know,
This
and I mean,
weed
think about
Hitler, Doug
these.
Benson.
Listen, he's
think
actually Hitler.
about these types of these bands that dopers will listen to.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, a band called the Grateful Dead. It's
Yeah.
great to be dead
No.
and
Yeah.
full.
Also, none of these bands are spelled correctly. Grateful Dead, right?
Fish.
Uh-huh.
The fuck's going on?
Dave
the hell?
Matthews Bang.
The Beatles.
Yep.
The hell is that?
Oh my god!
Doesn't
Don't
make
get me
any
started
sense.
on
Beatles
the
is spelled with a
And
double
all
E.
this-
You
and this-
moron.
And this is all ever since 2001 when Doug Benson started talking about this shit.
Doug Benson, listen, super high you? Yeah,
Super
I
high
wouldn't
you?
even say hi to you, you fucking drug
I'd
addict.
rather
Yeah.
super low you. I'm going to put you 6 feet under.
Yeah.
For ruining this country with pot.
You're actually a drug addict piece of fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
And getting Doug with high, buddy, the name doesn't make any sense.
It's wrong.
You
it's
actually
in the
this
wrong order.
this fucking idiot got
It's
so
completely
fucking high
mistaken.
that he swapped 2 words in his own
and that
show
and
name.
how is that show going to look professional?
That's like list about podcast.
Oh
That
my
doesn't
God.
makes
make
no
any
sense.
sense. That
what
makes
if we
no
were so
sense
high
at
when we
all.
named the show that we named it that? Wouldn't that be some fucking bullshit?
That would fucking
Yep.
be dog shitly bullshit.
That'd be the worst thing that's ever happened.
I'm sick.
I'm sick of these
I'm
dopers.
sick. No, I'm sick. No, I'm actually fucking sick.
You're sick?
Yeah, I'm sick, and I
guess
need to
what
go to
the
the
doc-
hospital.
you can't go to the doctors
But I can't go
because they're going to
guess what
prescribe
they'll
you.
prescribe me.
Yep, they're going to prescribe you.
They'll
dope.
prescribe me dope weed
You know what kind
because
of?
I have phantom limb
and do
syndrome
you know,
for a
you
bigger
know,
penis.
You know
that
what
I
else
never
that
had.
these dope freakers are doing?
What?
You think about the Earth, right? You
They
think
say
about
that it comes from it, but
millions
go
of
on.
millions of years ago. Okay,
Well, that's
millions
up for
of years
argument,
ago.
but sure.
The Earth is green,
Yeah.
green and blue planet. Okay, nowadays, Earth is gray and brown and yellow and golden and silver and red and
That's right.
black and white, but it's much less green. Do you know why it's much less green?
Because they're
Smoking.
The dopers, they take the green, they turn it brown.
Yep.
And
They
it
turn
turns
the
their
green brown to
insides
fire.
brown. It turns their shoulders red, and then it turns their arms black and gray.
And they're combining the green and the blue in a bong and just using up all of these resources.
Exactly.
Yeah, where's the water go?
Depleting. Where does the bong water go?
They waste it. They
waste
don't
it.
even use it.
Because they're
you
waste
could filter that bong water
Yep.
and start making spaghetti for homeless people.
Also-
You could found a desert city with that water.
You could found the city of
And with the glass, oh my
Atlantic,
god, a
nope.
futuristic glass city with water and green grass.
It would have been amazing, but
been
instead
the
it
best
would have
city in the
been
world.
Babylon. And I'm not talking about the Babylon that Bob Marley, that fucking dopehead, was talking about.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right, and listen,
no.
Jamaica. Listen, I don't want to say it, but it should be just completely wiped off the face of the
I
planet.
wouldn't say that.
Just completely one giant wave,
it's not.
just a wrath of God should just wipe it out with one
It
single
should-
wave.
I think that they should just make weed illegal there.
Jamaica should
I
just
just-
be
I
Are you
do
kidding
not-
me?
nuclearly
Wait, no,
exploded.
No.
I do not understand why God hasn't done something about dope.
Could you imagine how less spicy Jamaican jerk wings would be if they weren't smoking weed when they made it?
Exactly. So we got the recipe. Listen, Jamaica, you gave us the recipe, buddy. Now get the boot. We're sending you to Mars. That's
Mars,
what's happening.
red planet.
By the way-
not a speck of green to be seen.
God
Bro,
did. God.
that should be a penal colony.
That's
for
right.
dopers. Mm-hmm. They'll. I mean, those dopers. They'll probably. I mean, some of these
Probably try to
dopers
smoke an alien
They'll
on
probably
Mars.
try to smoke a green alien. Yeah, but some of these dopers. I mean, they go without their green
Yep.
for practically 1 second. They're throwing up. They're shitting
And
their
I-
pants.
you know
they're-
who I
they're-
would've- I would've
they're clawing
trusted-
at their own face.
I would have trusted Sir Elon Musk to send these dope heads to Mars, but then he actually joined their ranks by going on Joe Token and actually lighting up
Yep.
in front
That
of
was
millions.
so disappointing.
I mean, he was honestly a hero of mine, right? I had always wanted to make a car.
I mean, what's next? An electrical way to smoke weed? Is that what
fucking
Elon Musk
disgusting.
is?
That's probably what he's working
A
on.
cigarette powered by electricity.
It's
we're
fucking
gonna
disgusting.
we're gonna waste electricity too. It's not
Yeah.
enough to take the green and the blue out of the earth and the glass.
The other day, this is actually true. I'm not making this up at all. I was at CVS and a lady started talking to the. It's like one of those CVSs where they have a cop that stays there because there's so many people like stealing shit. Probably dope heads, by the way. But she said something about, she's like, I bet you light up when you get home. And he said, yeah, it's legal. And she said, I used to light up in the 90s. And then my cousin, who is one of the beat cops in my neighborhood, used to chase me down the street with a taser. So it actually tears families apart.
It does tear. Literally, their arms and legs are being torn off.
Torn limb from limb because they'll walk into a wild chimpanzee cage just so that they can get their hands ripped off
I mean,
so
the
they can smoke weed. Listen, Charlotte Nash, there's a reason why she told the monkey, she said, rip everything off except my mouth so I can still smoke weed.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
It weakens your joints and your ligaments.
Yeah, it does.
A doper will try to hold the door open. Their arm will fall onto the ground.
The
Exactly.
door
Like a
will pull,
leper.
The door will pull off the arm when they open it.
It'll look
And
like
don't even get me
SpongeBob.
started.
That's why there aren't any dopers that have automatic doors in their houses.
And don't even get me
Because they'll
started
caught
on
in the automatic
See, like
doors.
me, I have an automatic.
I have an automatic door too. It's so convenient. I love
Yeah.
it. The
I
bathroom
hate-
door, an automatic door. Every time someone walks by, it opens. I can see what's going on.
Yep.
Have you guys-
And it's glass.
And you
It's
go
glass.
to downtown.
It's a 7-Eleven on it.
you go to any
I
major city.
installed it 2 weeks ago.
You go to downtown LA, Skid Row, right? It's called Skid Row because you smoke so much weed
founded
that you
by
leave
dopers
skid
in the
marks
60s.
in your pants. It was founded by dopers in the 60s, and you walk around, these people are zombies. They're looking at you. They're going, "Come watch Fantasia with us. Come watch Disney's Fantasia."
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to watch Fantasia. It doesn't
I'm
make
like,
any fucking
do you
sense.
realize Chernobog is a fucking demon?
You do realize that a broom can't actually walk?
You are literally gaining satanic entertainment.
Yeah, if we're going to watch a Disney property, we're probably going to watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or we're going to watch one of the Scrooge McDuck films, right? I don't want to watch
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Mickey go and he's
And I-
dancing with hippos. Listen, a hippo's a
These-
boy. They got him dressed up in tutus.
These dopers too. They'll want to watch a Disney movie like Frozen.
Yeah.
and it's like, don't you realize this movie is so subversive? It's ruining the image of princes.
It's
and
disgusting.
People
Yep.
think princes are evil now because of
Yep.
because
And one of the
dopers
biggest-
at Disney
well,
are making these dope movies.
One of the biggest dopers of all, Walt Disney, cut off his own head
Yeah, he got
So that
the
he
rot.
could
The
smoke
rot
weed.
spread to his body.
He cut off his own damn head.
Yep.
And
I heard-
froze that thing so that he could smoke more later.
I
And then
heard
he
that
made a movie called
high-ranking-
Frozen
Uh-huh.
about his damn head.
I heard
Yep.
that high-ranking Disney employees and officials actually get to use Walt Disney's head as a bong because it gets him high too while he's in there.
Color
in
me
his brain.
not fucking surprised.
While he's in his brain.
Yep.
I
It's really
love being in my
disgusting
brain.
what dopers do to the society.
I know.
Cheech and Chong.
Don't even get me started on Cheech Marin and Chung Marin.
Chong Mering.
Yeah. Tommy Chong. How come they go... Listen, these dopers are so stupid. It should have been called Marin and Chong or Tommy and Cheech.
Yeah.
But they went first name, last name.
And and who's and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one of them is and?
Probably the same guy from the And One shirts.
Oh.
Oh, that guy's a
That makes a
serious
lot of
dope
sense.
head.
Yeah.
Right?
He's so rude.
And the
I mean, dope turns
No,
people rudely
I
mean.
don't think, because if he smoked, he wouldn't have been able to do any of that.
The
on
sad
court.
part is the weed has actually infested our sports culture, where you have celebrity NBA players like Lamar Odom who admit to marijuana abuse.
Yeah, and
For real?
Bill
Wait.
Walton.
Yeah.
They
And don't even
admit
get me
it.
started on Bill
They
Walton.
admit it.
They think
Lamar
it's okay.
Odom was, I think it was weed. He had to leave one of the sexy Kardashians to go to rehab.
Rehab.
Really?
Yeah,
Thank
because
God.
it made him because the weed actually made him a compulsive
I
liar.
wish that these dopers, instead of going to rehab, would head to dehab
Yep.
and be completely eliminated from the face of the planet.
I wish they'd go to
like
get ate by a whale.
Yep.
I think it should be
What happened to Ahab?
I think it should be like the Dead Space eyeball machine.
Yep. I think so.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it should be called dehab.
I think a drill should be just
And don't even get me
shoved
started.
right through them like Bioshock.
Don't even get me started on Seth Rogen
Seth Rogen,
and
hey
his
buddy,
brother Joe.
listen, but the Rogen brothers, they're a couple of fucking potheads, right? Snoop Dogg, you're liable too. Willie Nelson, I want you to get hit by a train. All you people are fucking disgusting.
You need to stop glorifying.
Stop glorifying dope. Stop glorifying smoking weed to little kids.
It's not right.
It's not cool.
Smoking, I will kill you.
If you glorify smoking a single joint in front of a child, I will actually fucking strangle you.
And you know what? Don't even smoke.
Don't even smoke. And don't you
glorify or even do it.
Don't you dare. Don't even stop smoking right now.
Joe Rogan.
Culture, American culture, you listen to me, you better stop smoking.
But cigarettes are fine. Smoke cigarettes.
Cigarettes actually remove a lot of the harmful THC molecules that actually
Yeah.
go into your lungs.
Cigarettes are
They use up
the anti-weed.
exactly. Think about it.
Because they're brown.
They
They're
use
brown,
up
and
also
it makes you more stressed out
Yep.
than
Listen,
weed.
raises your
Listen, we're
cortisol.
talking
Yeah.
about dope turns you to a mummy. It uses up the green and blue to the earth, turns it sandy like Egypt.
Yep.
A cigarette, what's it wrapped in? White paper. What's a mummy wrapped in?
White paper.
The cigarette uses up the white paper,
Yep.
and it prevents mummies from being created.
And I smoke a cigarette, I feel exactly like Napoleon Bonaparte, right? And I'm out there and
I
I'm
feel
sl-
Parisian.
and I'm slaying all of the weed heads,
yeah.
all of the poor weed
You know who
heads.
smoked cigarettes?
Who?
Clint Eastwood.
That's right.
And you know who
That's
else
right.
smokes cigarettes?
Who?
Cowboy.
Cowboy. Yep.
Who's- oh, a
Cowboy.
yeah, I feel,
Cowboy.
and I feel just like a cowboy. And the Napoleon Bonaparte when I
See,
smoke
weed
a cigarette.
turns you into a sissy. But cigarettes turn you into
A macho
man.
a macho man who's not afraid to tell these chairs what's up.
Yep.
That's right.
Exactly. Just like Clint Eastwood.
Clint
He yells,
Eastwood.
These chairs, this chair represents all the dope heads.
Yeah.
And you might think it's okay to mix cigarettes and weed, but it's not
No.
okay. You know what happens? You know who did that? Who's famous?
Who?
Lil Nas X.
That's true. And it's, you know what they call it? It's called a split, right?
Because you split
you
weed
split-
and cigarette.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
splits your reality where half of your brain, your left side, your more creative side, is into nicotine now.
Yeah.
And your right brain, your robotic, mathematic brain, is so high on weed that it actually loses its ability to count and,
It
and do
defunctions.
just
Completely.
basic division
Scientifically,
and multiplication.
it's called
It's de-stopping.
It de-stops.
Yeah. So basically, weed is actually going to, and it also closes your third eye, right?
Yeah. Oh,
'Cause-
yeah.
So what is known to open your third eye?
Cigarettes.
Nicotine, fluoride, hamburger
Paper.
meat,
McDonald's.
Yeah, the paper around a McDonald's burger. If you eat
Pretty
when you
much
try, you know what it is? It's when you try to eat the cheese. When you get a Hardee's thick burger and the cheese gets stuck to the paper, and you eat the cheese off. That
and listen,
mixture.
I don't want to keep harping on this.
Yeah,
I don't want to keep harping on this. But what
riboflavin.
color is the McDonald's paper? Okay,
Yellow.
and the cheese,
Yellow.
they're yellow. What color is the sand and pyramids? Yellow.
yellow.
You're using up the yellow. Stop. The dopers are trying to turn this to
Basically-
Egypt.
They wanted to be ancient Egypt again. Listen, buddy, you know who built the pyramid?
Tutankhamun.
Slaves. The
And you know,
weed heads want
dopers are
slavery
slaves
come
to the
back.
dope.
Yeah.
Weed heads want slavery to come back so that we have slaves out there picking all their weed plants in the fields. That's what they want.
Yep. That's
Yep.
exactly what they want.
That's what weeders
Listen,
want.
okay, if you play Doug Benson's Super High Me backwards,
It says, I want a slave. I want a weed
I
slave.
want a slave to pick my weed.
It's fucking disgusting. And
It's
honestly,
not right.
he needs to be executed by a military tribunal.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
you
should
can't-
probably
can't
get his
trust,
bones.
Can't even trust the military nowadays.
Yep. Also, here's the thing. These weed heads, they think it's extraordinary, like Doug Benson. He thinks that it's worth a podcast that he loves movies. Listen, buddy, I like movies too, okay? But I'm not walking around saying, Caleb loved movies. Oh, Caleb loved movies. Because I'm not fucking addicted to weed.
That's right. Yeah, dopers, they'll start podcasts just for interest
Just
that
for
they
fun.
have, just for no
Disgusting.
reason.
Instead of for money.
Yeah,
Instead
That's
of
why
doing
you're
it-
supposed to do a podcast.
for money and to spread an important message.
Yeah. What's the next list item?
Number 2. Wow.
Rap dance songs.
I'd like to say just one thing about Sonic, okay? This fucking game must have been made by a doper, because where does he keep all these rings?
Yeah.
He has a pouch.
He has... Okay,
a
all right,
pocket.
now listen. These rings are giant. He has, when I play, 300 of them. Yeah, it's a high score. How does he keep these on his body?
They shrink.
Why?
You see,
I think,
if
yo,
you see the movie,
You're
Sonic
using
sense.
dope logic.
Sonic the Hedgehog absolutely made by a doper. I mean, a
Yeah.
blue hedgehog that runs
First of all, blue
and fights
hair.
an egg man.
First of all, blue hair.
blue hair.
I don't want to bring
hair.
this back to Lesbos.
Yep.
But that's a serious pothead Lesbo kind of situation, right? A hedgehog,
Yeah.
fucking made up animal,
Not real.
right? Might as well be
It's
a
type of,
unicorn.
yeah, what it's
right?
Just call it a pig. It's a hog.
You have his best buddy is named Tails,
Which
right?
that should have been a pig too.
yeah.
It should have been a pig.
What a
Sonic
multi-tailed
the-
animal?
It should all just
the,
been
the tail
pigs.
spins and spirals. It's
Yeah.
clearly
Yeah.
a pig.
It should have been a fast pig.
Twisted
well,
Tail.
I don't know about the fast part because that's pretty. That's pretty
Twisted
dope,
Tail, the Simpsons
dope-ish.
movie. Right? Remember the Simpsons movie? Twisted Tail?
Twisted tail.
Twisted Tail?
No.
You don't remember that?
I remember
Spider
there was a
pig.
spider pig.
His tail is twisted.
Yeah.
Okay.
And remember Epa?
Epa. I remember Epa.
Twisted
Yeah.
Tail, a million eyes.
Yeah.
Epa. That's what
Epa.
Grandpa was saying?
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh wow."
Yeah, so that's kind of, you can apply
Everyone's
that
like,
to
"Oh,
Sonic,
the
too.
EPA." Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone says that when he says that.
And then remember, he says, remember when also the president is the Arnold Schwarzenegger guy who says, I pick 3?
Remember when they're like on the phone calls and it's like, "You hang up first." No, you hang up first, and then
Yep.
he's like, "Okay," and he hangs up, and she goes, "Oh my god, he hung up on me."
So the point is, I mean,
Oh, and
that's
it says "Dome, Sweet Dome."
yeah, so that's,
And Green Day is there.
those
Green
are the
Day.
kind of, those are the kind
I
of
fucking hate
jokes-
Green Day. You realize that's a dope type band?
those are
You
the
realize
kind
that's a dope title, right? Because it's
Yeah.
a Green Day because you're smoking so much
about
dope.
yeah,
420.
they name it after dope.
Also, yeah, Hitler 420. Hitler was born on 420. Oh my God, how this has evaded our.
Yeah, that's why all the weed strains are named after him.
Holy shit! I just
Every
got that.
single weed strain has some relation to Hitler.
420 is actually
Green
it's a
crack.
satanic. They're trying to resurrect Hitler.
Alaskan thunderfuck.
Right?
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what a thunderfuck is? A blitzkrieg.
And you know where Hitler fled to? Alaska.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
He's in Alaska, frozen his head with Walt
With
Disney.
Walt
Walt
Disney.
Disney.
Yep.
Because they
They're
were like
bongs.
this. They were
They were best buds.
It's something
as
called
thieves.
a head bong, and people are smoking it. That's a news story that just came out.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're saying Walt Disney and Hitler both did this, as well as many people who are not important, so their names don't matter.
I would say no weed smokers ever lived was important. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll give Bill Clinton, you're right on the edge, buddy, because you didn't inhale, right? I think not
He
inhaling.
never inhaled.
He never inhaled.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, you can tell he wouldn't have been able to play that
No, his
jazzy
lungs,
ass instrument.
His
yeah,
lungs
the lungs
would
have
not have
suffered.
been good.
He would have been a decent president had the pious Bush family not immediately usurped him with one of the greatest presidents who ever lived.
Oh, absolutely.
Capitan George Bush. George W. Bush.
Yeah,
Right? One of the
What's
most
the W?
anti-weed presidents ever. The
Weed
W
eliminator.
stands for winning
Yeah.
against the weed heads, or weed eliminator, or weed killer, or weed destroyer.
yeah. Yo,
Or-
speaking of weed destroyer and weed elimination, Portland and Seattle, we're coming to you and we're going to eliminate every last
Every
doper
drop
in your-
of weed is
Yeah.
going to be
So we have
deleted from
the
Seattle.
vacuum
Yep.
from Luigi's Mansion. We're sucking it all up and we're shooting it into the sun.
Yep.
And
if-
I
if
hope that the
people in-
smoke does not reach the earth when we do that and
Yeah.
create a weed world.
Also, stop trying to smoke the ozone, you fucking pieces
yeah,
of
but
shit.
August 18th and 19th, swagpoop.com/shows. Go buy tickets.